How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to On the Ball and welcome back to another round of Premier League predictions. It's been a long old 2 weeks without Premier League football, but it's back and uninterrupted from now until the end of the season. I think, I'm not sure what the scores are. I think I'm slightly ahead going into this weekend. Yeah, just a couple of points, but it's been neck and neck for so long throughout the whole season. But now it's the business end of the season. It's time to put the cat amongst the pigeons and let's get into our predictions. We've got a full host of Premier League action starting off 12:30 kickoff on Saturday at St James's Park. Newcastle against West Ham. Sim's gone for 2-1 to West Ham here.
Yeah, away from home. I know it's difficult at St James's Park to pick up points, but Newcastle are just decimated with injuries at the moment. Lewis Miley's another one they've picked up in central midfield. And I look at West Ham's front four, Kudus, Bowen, Paquetá. I know Paquetá and Bowen had some good form over the international break. Obviously, Antonio had I think scored a brace just before the international break, or scored a goal, sorry. I can see them just playing on the counter. I can see them going 1-0 down, but then I can see Newcastle kind of in their intense way of playing, getting a bit tired, not having the quality to compensate for that, and West Ham kind of take advantage of that on the breakaway and coming out on top. It's going to be difficult. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I just got a feeling West Ham are going to go there and frustrate Newcastle and take the points.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that always promises goals, Newcastle against West Ham of recent years, and I couldn't split the sides at 2-2. I think West Ham do have the upper hand in terms of, they've got their attacking players back with Lucas Paquetá, who's running things at the moment. He just seems way too good to be in that team, to be fair. And Mohamed Kudus, Antonio's come back and he's on form. You're looking at Newcastle, they've got their own attacking talents with Gordon and Isaac, who are playing well at the moment. So I feel like Newcastle might do the early running and get a couple of goals in this game, but I do feel West Ham will get back into the game. And I think it's going to be a really good game of football to kick us off this weekend. So I've gone for 2-2.
And also Sven Botman is ruled out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
It's a big miss for him.
Yeah, it's
big
true.
miss for him.
It is a big miss for Newcastle, but I've gone for 2-2. Sim has gone for 2-1 to West Ham. Let me know your prediction in the comments section below. Let's move on to the Vitality. It's Bournemouth against Everton. Sim's gone for 2-0 to Everton.
Yeah, and they need to get back to winning ways soon because they've really been on a massive decline since the turn of the year results-wise. I still don't think they've won since December time, and luckily for them, they're still not in the relegation zone. They're still 4 points clear. Maybe a few draws they've picked up along the way have just helped them keep their heads above water. But I do feel like maybe that international break has done them a bit of good in terms of taking a break from the action, the Premier League, let them reset a bit. And I think when they come back, they're going to come back with a bit of fresh energy, a bit of new energy. And I think this kind of game is perfect for them. We know Bournemouth at home is a very tough game. Sorry, Bournemouth away from home is a tough game. Bournemouth are very tricky at the Vitality. But we know Bournemouth are going to attack them. They're going to try and win the game, and that could suit Everton. And I think from set pieces, they're going to have the upper hand, and I can see them keeping Bournemouth out. So I've gone for 2-0. Yeah,
I can't really see them keeping Bournemouth out because I think Everton are shipping quite a few goals recently, but Everton are like kind of the draw specialists in the Premier League this season, aren't they? They draw so many games, and I think this one will be another one. Bournemouth had probably a morale boosting win last time out against Luton, 3-0 down at half time and coming back to win 4-3, which might signal maybe another run that Bournemouth are going to go on after pretty shocking run of form since December. But having said that, Everton as well, they've just been on a shocking run. So I think both these teams will probably come into it thinking they can get the upper hand in their styles of play and the way they play the game. So I've just gone safe and gone for 1-1 in this one. So 1-1 Bournemouth, Everton. Sim's gone for 2-0 to Everton. Let's go to Chelsea against Burnley. Sim's gone for 3-0. I've gone for 3-1. I do think Burnley have a goal in them this weekend with the way they like to play their football, but you can't look past Chelsea winning at Stamford Bridge against a Burnley side who pretty much lose week in, week out, especially against this kind of quality. I think Chelsea will just have way too much for them with the likes of Cole Palmer, Nick Jackson, who's on good form as well at the moment. So, yeah, I just think Chelsea are going to have too much.
Yeah, I had 3-1 down, but then I remembered that Fofana's can't play.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So because he's on loan at Chelsea, so I thought, I don't know where the goals are going to come from without him because he's been in great form. I think Burnley, although Burnley got a brilliant win last time out against home to Brentford, they needed that win, but I just can't see them kind of taking the game to Chelsea and getting any sort of joy. I think Chelsea, I wouldn't say they're getting their act together, but they're starting to get some results, especially at home. They beat Newcastle 3-2 at home last time out, and I think Poch will get them put in a performance where they'll be dominant, and I think Burnley will struggle to cope. So I want to go for 3-0 here.
Next up is Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. We've gone for the exact same scoreline here in 1-1. I do feel like these teams are going to cancel each other out a bit. I mean, Nottingham Forest with that points deduction, they're banging. If they weren't in trouble before, they're banging trouble now. They need to get points quickly if they're going to, beat that drop. They are fighting against Luton, who aren't exactly getting the most points on the board at the moment. But at home to Crystal Palace, I think Forest will probably go into it a bit confident that they can get points. But with the new manager, with the new system that Crystal Palace have implemented, they're going to be a very hard team to play against this weekend. So I've gone for 1-1.
Yeah, Ollie Glasner obviously plays that back three system, and I think that is a good system to kind of nullify what Forest are going to bring, especially because Awioni and Wood are doubts for this game, and if without those two, I do see them struggling with a focal point in the game, especially against a back three. Obviously, they do have threats, Gibbs, White, Alanga having good seasons, but I see them really struggling to break down Glasner's back three. But on the flip side, they have Eze fit, but other than Eze, I don't see too many avenues where Palace will have too much quality to damage Forest either, and I see a bit of a stalemate. I see both teams struggling to create chances, both teams finding a moment, but I could only go for 1-1.
To be fair, like Mateta and Ayew on good form, aren't they?
They've been all right, but I think it was maybe a bit of a purple patch.
Next up, we go to Bramall Lane, Sheffield United against Fulham. Both of us gone for Fulham win. Sim's gone for 2-1 to Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham in quite good form, obviously, recently, beating Spurs and Brighton at home pretty comprehensively. They did lose away to Wolves, but they were very unlucky after a really good performance. They shouldn't really have lost that. So I do think they're going to take this form into the game against Sheffield United. I don't see Fulham as a team who like to break teams down. I think that's what Sheffield United are going to ask them to do, but I still see them having too much quality for Sheffield United to hold them out. I do see Sheffield United causing them a few problems, but I think at the end of the day the quality will tell, and it might even be I can foresee like a 1-1 going to last 10 minutes and Fulham kind of finding that moment and winning the game. So I've gone for 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, if this game was at Craven Cottage, I probably would have gone for a more convincing win, but you're looking at Sheffield United, you're looking at their last 3 games at home, 16 goals conceded and 0 scored. So they need to go into this with a different mentality if they're going to get anything from the game. But Fulham away from home aren't exactly the greatest team in the world. Like I said, they're very strong at Craven Cottage, but away, sometimes they do put in these poor performances against these sides lower down in the league. So I do see it being a bit of a struggle for Fulham, but I do think they'll keep huffing and puffing and blow the door down eventually. So I've gone for 2-0 to Fulham there. Next up, we go to Tottenham. Tottenham against Luton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Sim's gone for 4-1. I've gone for 3-1. I envisage it being a very kind of frustrating day, maybe early doors in this one with Luton sitting in their low block, being very frustrating to break down. But I think the quality will tell by the end of the game, and I think that in the second half we'll probably run away with it a little bit, but I can still see Luton getting a goal. Yeah,
I think Luton recently been shipping lots and lots of goals. Obviously, with 3-0 up against Bournemouth, end up losing 4-3. They lost to Liverpool 4-1. They lost to Villa at home 3-2 as well. They have been shipping many, many goals, and also going into this game,
in the cup as well.
Also going into this game, they have a lot of injuries. Doughty, a left back who's been one of their main players, is a big doubt. Adebayo is apparently ruled out. So I think Lokonga's a doubt. So I think they do have a lot of injury problems going into this game, and I think that's going to really hurt them when trying to stop Tottenham. Tottenham obviously need to bounce back after a really bad defeat against Fulham just before the international break, and they'll want a reaction to that, and I think they'll get it here at home to Luton, who I don't think they're a team who like to kind of sit back. They like to kind of give it a go and try and attack a bit. So I think they'll benefit Tottenham. So I've gone for 4-1 here.
All right. I hope you're all right, to be fair. Let's go on to Aston Villa against Wolves in the Midlands derby at Villa Park. Sim's gone for 2-0 to Villa.
And the reason being is just Wolves are kind of, as Mourinho would put it, a gun with no bullets. No Cunha, no Neto, no Hwang. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to cause Villa the amount of trouble they need to get a result here. I can just see Villa playing in that intense way and not allowing Wolves out of their shape. I can see Wolves kind of frustrating Villa, but as soon as Villa break the door down, I just can't see Wolves responding to it. So I've just gone for Villa to win comfortably here at 2-0.
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I was siding with a Villa win before I finalised on my prediction, but I'm just looking at the way Villa are playing at the moment, and they're not playing well. You look at the game against Tottenham, they lost 4-0. After that, they drew 1-1 with West Ham, which I thought West Ham were definitely the better side and should have got all 3 points on the day. Yes, Wolves are a different kettle of fish with all the injuries that they do have. I think they're probably going to be playing that kid up front. I can't remember his name, Fraser, up front. But I do think with the way Wolves set up tactically, it could kind of benefit them a little bit. But I do, accept that the players that they got up front probably aren't of the required standard. So maybe I can see them surprising a few people, getting a goal, but I just went, maybe it's not so safe, but 1-1 with Aston Villa at Wolves. Maybe it's more hopeful than anything else in terms of the top 4 race. But let's go on to Brentford against Manchester United. Tim's gone for 2-2. I've gone for 2-1 here to Man United. Brentford just seem to be losing every single week. Whether they play well, they play poorly. Really poor result last time out against Burnley, which would have hurt them. Man United, on the other hand, with Højlund back, I see them having just about enough quality to get over the line against this Brentford side. And I think it'll be a tight game, but I think Man United will just edge it.
Yeah, I think the return of Mbeumo is going to be a massive boost for Brentford. I think having him, Tony, and potentially Wissa in a front 3, or maybe just Tony and Mbeumo in a front 2, is going to cause Man United a lot of problems. On the flip side, though, Brentford do have injuries and suspensions. Reguilon's obviously ruled out through a red card last time out. Ben Mee is out through suspension. I think Hickey's still out as well, who's been a big player for them at right back. So I think they're going to struggle to keep Man United at arm's length. I think Man United obviously got a good win against Everton last time, albeit still not that convincing. They do still concede a lot of chances, and I do think they're going to concede chances here away at Brentford. So I think Tony and Mbeumo can punish Brentford, but I also think Man United, with Højlund back, as you say, and the likes of Bruno Rashford, have enough quality to punish Brentford as well. So I can split it. I went for 2-2.
Anfield next, Liverpool against Brighton, which is a Super Sunday where it's very much focused on the title race. Sim's gone for 3-2 to Liverpool.
Yeah, open game. I think an attacking game. Liverpool obviously struggling with a lot of injuries at the moment, especially at the back. Trent's out. I think, what's his name? Matip's out. I'm not sure if Konate and Van Dijk are both back. They've been playing Gomez a lot. I think Robertson is a doubt as well. So I think maybe Brighton might be able to cause them a few problems, albeit they've got their own offensive issues. Pedro's still not fit, but they still got Ferguson. Even Danny Welbeck in these kind of games can cause teams issues. So I think Brighton can cause problems against the Liverpool side, but I just think even with the injuries, I know Jota and Nunez might be out, but even with Salah, Gakpo, Diaz and McAllister seem to have really picked up his form recently, the likes of Szoboszlai as well. So I think they're going to have too much for Liverpool. But I see a really entertaining game, a bit of a basketball match. But I think Liverpool will come out on top 3-2.
Yeah, I look at it a bit different. I think when you're looking at Brighton and their away form, it's been nothing short of shocking, to be fair, when you definitely put it up against their home form, losing one game all season at home. So all their other losses obviously have come away from home. And I think Liverpool are just going to be too hot to handle, especially in a game that means so much when Man City are playing Arsenal later on that day. The atmosphere is going to be electric at Anfield on Sunday. And I don't think Brighton are going to be able to handle it. I think you're looking at the attack. Darwin Núñez actually might be injured. He's a bit of a doubt going into this game, but I still think that Liverpool are going to have more than enough. And when you're looking at Brighton's away form, I mean, they're not scoring anywhere near enough away from home. You take away that Sheffield United game where they battered them 5-0, they're hardly scoring a goal away from home against all the other sides. So I think it's going to be a convincing victory for Liverpool. It will be hard fought. It's not going to be like a blow me away game, but I think Liverpool by the end of it will say it's a convincing win. So 3-1 for me, 3-2 to Sim. And now let's get on to the big one at the Etihad. Manchester City against Arsenal, top v second. Sim's gone for 1-1. I've gone for 2-1 to Man City. I cannot sit here and say Arsenal are going to get any points in this game. I'm sorry. As much as I think that maybe there's a possibility with the way Arsenal are playing at the moment, with the way Man City are playing at the moment, of course it's a possibility Arsenal can go out there and get a result. But I'm going on history of this fixture. I'm going on the experience in the title race as well with what Man City have shown. Yeah, Man City do have injury problems going into this game. Kyle Walker went off injured for England, but I think he'll be all right for the game. John Stones went off injured for England, which that'll be a massive kick in the teeth if he's out. I'm not really sure if he's back or not. But with the likes of Erling Haaland, I think Kevin De Bruyne is probably still out for this game as well. They still have more than enough to win any match of football, never mind who it's playing against. So I am just got to believe that Man City are going to win this game.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a draw. I think Arsenal are the form team in the league right now. They're going to come into this game with a lot of confidence. And I think also their biggest strength is their defensive ability at the moment. And you couple that with the fact that, look, Man City are playing well, but they're not blowing teams away at the moment. They're winning kind of a lot of games by the odd goal. They also conceded a lot of chances against Liverpool at Anfield just before the international break. Coupled with that, with the fact that they have injuries. I think Edison, I think's out. Stones might be out. Walker, is he going to be 100% fit? Not 100% sure on that one as well. So that could leave the back door open for Arsenal to gain a bit of an advantage there. Plus the fact that I can see obviously City can score a goal in any game, and I do think they'll score. But will they score lots more than one goal? With Arsenal, the way Arsenal defending at the moment, I see it being a very, very difficult task to do that. And so I think a lot of the games between the top teams have been draws. I think Liverpool and Arsenal drew 1-1 at Anfield. Liverpool and City drew 1-1 twice this season, and I see another 1-1 draw here. I think the Arsenal game with the Emirates against City was 1-0, but a deflected effort should have been 0-0 that game.
Yeah.
So I see another draw. I think both teams cancel each other out. So I've gone for 1-1.
If this is a draw and Liverpool win this weekend, is it advantage Liverpool?
Definitely, because they go 3 points
massive
clear.
favourites.
Not massive, but they go 3 points clear, which is on the basis of like how the title race has been over the last like couple months, where there's barely been a point in it. 3 points has become significant at that point.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our star men. Obviously, once we pick them, we can't pick them again for the rest of the season. Sim's gone for Cole Palmer at home to Burnley.
Palmer, yeah, need to use him. I think this is probably the best opportunity. He's apparently he did come on. He was a bit of a doubt, but I just read that Poch said he trained fine and he's going to be available. So. And he takes penalties, also very crucially. So I've gone for Cole Palmer. Need to use him.
Yeah, good shout. I've already used him. So I was thinking of Cole Palmer, but unfortunately I've already used him. I've gone for Ricardo Muniz of Fulham away to Sheffield United. We know how many goals Sheffield United have been shipping off home of late, and Muniz is a real man on form at the moment. He's just banging in goals for fun at the moment. So I've gone for Muniz. Sim's gone for Cole Palmer. Let me know in the comment section below what your predictions are for this weekend and who do you think is going to come out on top, me or Sim, in our Predict the Prem episode. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and we'll see you